ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עליית שמו הגדול. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות. ברוך שאמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא, ברוך עושה בראשית, ברוך אומר ועושה, ברוך גוזר ומקיים, ברוך מרחם על הארץ, ברוך מרחם על הבריות, ברוך משלם סבתו בלאה, ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח, ברוך בורא ומציל, ברוך שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, האל הרחמן המולד לפי עמו, משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידה ועבדה, ובשירי דוד עבדך, נהללך אדוני אלוהינו, תשבחות ותזמירות, נגדלך ונשבחך ונברכך, ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עליית שמו הגדול. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות. ברוך שאמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא, ברוך עושה בראשית, ברוך אומר ועושה, ברוך גוזר ומקיים, ברוך מרחם על הארץ, ברוך מרחם על הבריות, ברוך משלם סבתו בלאה, ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח, ברוך בורא ומציל, ברוך שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, האל הרחמן המולד לפי עמו, משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידה ועבדה, ובשירי דוד עבדך, נהללך אדוני אלוהינו, תשבחות ותזמירות, נגדלך ונשבחך ונברכך, ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עליית שמו הגדול. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות. ברוך שאמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא, ברוך עושה בראשית, ברוך אומר ועושה, ברוך גוזר ומקיים, ברוך מרחם על הארץ, ברוך מרחם על הבריות, ברוך משלם סבתו בלאה, ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח, ברוך בורא ומציל, ברוך שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, האל הרחמן המולד לפי עמו, משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידה ועבדה, ובשירי דוד עבדך, נהללך אדוני אלוהינו, תשבחות ותזמירות, נגדלך ונשבחך ונברכך, ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עליית שמו הגדול. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות. ברוך שאמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא, ברוך עושה בראשית, ברוך אומר ועושה, ברוך גוזר ומקיים, ברוך מרחם על הארץ, ברוך מרחם על הבריות, ברוך משלם סבתו בלאה, ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח, ברוך בורא ומציל, ברוך שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, האל הרחמן המולד לפי עמו, משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידה ועבדה, ובשירי דוד עבדך, נהללך אדוני אלוהינו, תשבחות ותזמירות, נגדלך ונשבחך ונברכך, ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח ומפואר עליית שמו הגדול. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך מהולל ותשבחות. ברוך שאמר והיה העולם, ברוך הוא, ברוך עושה בראשית, ברוך אומר ועושה, ברוך גוזר ומקיים, ברוך מרחם על הארץ, ברוך מרחם על הבריות, ברוך משלם סבתו בלאה, ברוך חי לעד וקיים לנצח, ברוך בורא ומציל, ברוך שמו, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, האל הרחמן המולד לפי עמו, משובח ומפואר בלשון חסידה ועבדה, ובשירי דוד עבדך, נהללך אדוני אלוהינו, תשבחות ותזמירות, נגדלך ונשבחך ונברכך, ונזכיר שמך ונמליכך מלכנו אלוהינו, יחיד חיי העולמים, מלך משובח
Sarah's on strike. Strike. She's alone in the lobby with a sign saying Kavod Habriot. That means human dignity. She wants to pray just like the men, read from the Torah and what then, grow a beard and some payas, wear a suit and a hat, sit where the men are sat. Sarah's on strike. Sarah's making trouble, she never makes trouble. Every week she's in this chair as fervent as a rabbi, if a rabbi could be a woman. But now she's silent behind a sign. Someone just said she's crossed a line. Sarah, who's so calm, you can hardly hear her speak. She'll be back here next week, far from making trouble. Besides, women are the extension of the Lord's sixth day. Men aren't even close to that, so they are the ones who pray. Even if the laws are torn up and defiled, we'll never be closer to the creator of the universe than when she's married and creator of a child. Sarah's my best friend, my only friend. She should be in this chair, holding my hand instead of loitering in the lobby. My father's announced how I'm engaged, but people keep saying how a war's been waged against the Torah and the Jewish law, and all that I've been standing for, because my best friend of 20 years or more is on strike. Shh, 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 shh. I can't believe I'm shushing for my own engagement announcement. I can't believe Sarah's not here. She couldn't just put down that stupid piece of cardboard for 2 minutes and... Thank you. Oh, yes, Menachem is such a mensch. Oh, yes, he should be rabbi here in about 6 months. We're just waiting for the synagogue board to... Yes, just like my mother. Oh, Sarah. Oh, you know Sarah. The strangest thing about rabbis' daughters, or wives, or sons, or even the rabbi himself, is that ears seem to become invisible, at least to the congregation. Or the congregation seem to think that hearing impairments run in the family and all rabbis' families. Because the ladies behind me, and a few seats to my left, and a few seats to my right, and the men directly below me, are currently all talking about me. Well, about me and Sarah. Sarah and... Now, these ladies are saying that Sarah's always been a troublemaker. Ever since she ate a slice of my bat mitzvah cake before it was announced that the cake was available to eat. 10 years on, and Mrs. Silverman still holds a grudge over the corner piece. Now, these ladies, they're very concerned that I will soon be joining Sarah. Oh, wow. Oh, because I copied Sarah's multiplication homework in primary school, I will obviously go and join Sarah any minute, and the roof of the synagogue will immediately begin to crumble. Now, what are those old gossiping men saying? One of them's asking when Menachem is meant to be approved by the board as the next rabbi. A silly girl like that could corrupt a man like Menachem. Apparently, I asked, aggressively, why girls can't be rabbis. This was at a Passover Seder when I was 7. Every little thought, every little word, every little phrase will be overheard and analyzed in every little house, in every little street, every little place where little people meet in a 10-mile radius. The rabbi's daughter thinks dee-dum-dum-dum, so the rabbi's daughter says dee-da-da-da. A rabbi's daughter knows the game, and words will only get her so far. So I nod and smile, pass out the biscuits and pour out the wine. Nod and smile, my skin is thick by my mother's design. Every little class and every little grade, every little project I have ever made is catalogued as part of history. And every little thing that I have ever done is never forgotten and possibly spun into lowering my father's positioning. The rabbi's daughter did dee-dum-dum-dum, so the rabbi must dee-da-da-da. As a family team, we play the game, but words will only get us so far. So I nod and smile, as the female face of the family. I nod and smile. My father's entire career can be brought down by me. It's a strange game filled with moments of awe, because I matter. The game is built around me because I matter. That's why I'm invited to every celebration. I get called on in a crisis. I matter in ways beyond my control. It feels amazing to perform this role. So I silently bend and I silently bow as they talk of the who and the where and the how. 3 steps forward and 3 steps back as they're making another little verbal attack. The rabbi's daughter wore dee-dum-dum-dum, so the rabbi's daughter did dee-da-da-da. The rabbi's daughter is winning the game, and this is how I got so far. I nod and smile. Who would Esther be if she made a complaint? Nod and smile. A woman of valor rules with restraint. Delilah shows us to not beguile. Better to follow our foremothers' style, as they founded an entire nation with a nod and smile. Sarah's not alone in the lobby anymore. There's 6 of them now. 4 haven't stepped foot in the synagogue since the single and mingle cocktail making class. The other 2, I have no idea. She's not friends with these people. If she were friends with these people, I would know these people. But she can't be friends with them because I don't know them, and I'm her best friend. So how can she have friends who aren't me? Apparently, they all have some big meeting on Sunday. That's why Sarah can't help me pick out my sheitel. When I get married, my natural hair becomes private. So when I go into the world, I will wear a wig, a sheitel. It's a tradition. A tradition that Sarah and I used to talk about as children. Tease each other about what color sheitel we'd get. Green or blue or purple. There was a time we said we get matching sheitels. There was also a time we said we get very different sheitels and just swap with each other whenever we wanted. Sunday was going to be the big day, when we'd spend hours and hours in the shop trying on every single style, even the craziest ones. So when she texted to say she couldn't make it, I burst into tears. It was very sudden. My brothers rushed in because apparently I was crying very loudly, and I don't cry. I'm very good, very well practiced at not crying. Luckily, my future mother-in-law was in town, so my father asked her to take me. She keeps telling everyone what an honor it is to take the rabbi's daughter to choose her first sheitel. Chestnut brown. Most young wives go for natural, but excitingly enhanced. I could find myself a colorist to add golden highlights at the ends. Shoulder length any longer, and I won't command respect. Respect I'm going to need when dealing with Sarah and her newfound friends. My natural hair is tangled and frizzy and takes hours and hours to attain. My natural hair never stays in place and is an endless source of shame. But soon no one will need to know what's underneath the perfect hair that will sit on my imperfect head. No one will need to see what's underneath my mother's scarves I will wear in my home, even when I'm tucked up in bed. If the worst part of me is hidden and never needs to show, then no one, not even I, will need to know. Dense but not too thick, that's the trick of achieving the mitzvah of modesty. Thank God, respectful beauty is something I can simply own. 360 lace holds hair in place to be done in a multitude of ways, though I will happily become the kind of girl Sarah calls a clone. My natural hair's a problem, a headache, impossible to cure. My natural hair looks confused and refuses to mature. But soon no one will need to know what's underneath. The perfect hair will sit on my imperfect head. No one will need to see what's underneath my mother's scarves I will wear even in my bed. If the worst parts of me are hidden and never need to show, then no one, not even I, will need to know. Sarah says shaitals are silly, but then she always looks perfect, and her brand of perfection is always achieved without a care. Sarah is obsessed with my horrendous mess. She once begged me to never get married, but only because she'd miss my hair. My stupid strands are awful, they shouldn't be natural. The Lord Hashem must have made a mistake. Naturally it's wrong and unruly. I'll happily buy the best replacement they make, so that no one will know what's underneath. I'll have perfect hair, so I'll have a perfect head. No one will see what's underneath. My mother's scarves will keep even the strangest dreams in my bed. If the worst parts of me are hidden and never need to show, then no one, not even I, will need to know. If the worst parts of me never show, they won't exist as far as I will know. Menachem's approval has been delayed due to an imminent threat to the community. Sarah. For Sarah is no longer standing in the lobby. She's been joined by some women who've somehow managed to convince her to start a grand new heretical offshoot of the congregation in the form of a minyan in the car park across the road. For certain prayers, a group of 10 men need to be present. This is called a minyan. A group of 10 women is called a group of 10 women. How can she be so disrespectful? Personally, I look forward to her next epiphany. Shabbat is now on a Tuesday, and we will read the Aramaic translations of the great prophetic writings of the great rabbinical thinker, Cher. I would understand if she was secular, or God forbid an atheist, but Sarah is the most religious and spiritual person I have ever known. To stand next to her during the Amida, the most silent and intimate prayer, is like standing next to an angel. 3 steps back to exit this world. 3 steps forward to enter the space of the creator of the universe. Sarah looks around before bowing her head and taking 3 steps backward. But as she steps forward, she opens her arms to the creator of the universe. I wonder if she's open to the Lord right now. As we say Baruch or blessed, we bow forward. Atah or you, we rise back up. And by the name of the Lord Adonai, we stand up straight for the creator of the universe. As Sarah says Baruch, her eyes are almost at her knees. Atah, she rises up slowly. Adonai, her posture is perfect for the creator of the universe. I wonder if the Lord feels her respect right now. These words aren't so familiar without her near. Even though the sounds are silent, I can always hear her spirit cleaving to every prayer. These words seem less holy with her out there. 3 steps back to end the conversation, like backing away from a teacher, like exiting the space of the creator of the universe. Before Sarah steps back, she takes a deep breath in, savoring the holy air of the creator of the universe. I wonder how the holy air feels right now. Sarah has started sending me emails. That's where our friendship is now. Emails. Official sounding emails. Messages passed through the internet via addresses we picked out together but never used, not for each other. Dear Rachel, I hope the wedding preparations are going smoothly. The women's minyan is growing every day. As you know, this week we read from the book of Ruth, and it would mean so much to me if you'd walk across the road to our little minion and say a few words. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, my love. Blah. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Mazel tov on the new grandchild. What is it, your 7th now? Mrs. Leibowitz, that cheesecake on Thursday, my word. Yes, my favorite. You all know me so well. I can't wait to see you at the Tish and Torah tonight. A life is built on 1,000 little moments and 1,000 little choices that stick to a plan. A future is made from a straight and narrow vision with clear and thoughtful execution from the moment you began. And success is founded on the paths you can see, but knowing they're not yours to take. And growing older is knowing some relationships are destined to break. So your life can be the life you choose, the life you've always wanted, the life that is laid out for you to live. And if a friend wants to drive your plans off course, then there is no more friendship to give. The emails have been a failure on her part. She's taken to a supposedly more reliable method of communication in the form of a text message. Hey, I know you're ignoring me, but the ladies' minion could really use your help. We're petitioning the board this week, but almost every woman we've approached from the congregation won't sign. We know if we had your signature, then blah, 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 blah. A life is built on ignoring stupid messages, and the people who send those messages are just as stupid and wrong. A future is made by focusing on what matters and leaving selfish people outside, 'cause that's where they belong. Oh, thank you. Yes, I know. What on earth got into her? No. Nothing was set on fire. No. Well, the board knew she was coming, so they simply locked the doors, but with all that banging and screaming. Saul, bless him. He's in his early 90s. It was either call the police or call him an ambulance. Victories are formed by picking the right battles and knowing what should not be overturned. And advancement is established on the power you must keep hold of, because that's the power you have earned. So your life could be the life you choose, the life you've always wanted, the life that is laid out for you to live. And if someone wants to destroy the world you built to live in, then hell and fury you should give. Dearest Rachel, I will not be attending your engagement party. It seems things are strained between me and the community. I wouldn't want to cause a scene. But I want you to know that I'm still your friend, even though you're ignoring me. Lots of love, Sarah. Love would be sitting by my side as my future falls into line. But a friend who does nothing but creates a nightmare is no longer a friend of mine. A life is built by dancing when you're hurting and smiling when your best friend is suddenly gone. A future is made for forgetting all about her and resisting all emotions I will never act on. Because righteousness is gained by deciding who you are and shaping yourself into that mold. And getting wiser is learning when certain people say they love you. That's just a lie you've been told. So this is the life I choose, the life I've always wanted, the life that is laid out for me to live. And if she abandons me at the moment I need her the most, then she's someone I will never forgive. And a life without her is the life I choose to live. Last night I was with Sarah. She was hosting a Friday night dinner. Obviously I wasn't going, but my father and Menachem heard it was happening and sent me along. Thought I could start some kind of mediation. So I arrived. There were only women there. About a dozen of them crammed into a tiny flat. Some of the usual suspects from the car park, plus a few others. A couple of them were wearing trousers. One had tattoos. I was about to immediately turn around to leave when Sarah spotted me. We had the weirdest exchange of words. It was very cordial. I felt the tops of my ears burning, trying to hold in this rush of crying and anger, and I was relieved when this booming female voice said it was time for Kiddush. Sarah turned around and the purple-haired keeper of the booming voice handed the Kiddush cup to Sarah with a sickly sweet smile. Everyone turned to Sarah, who seemed different. She was completely at ease in that moment. As I heard her recite the prayer I had only ever heard men say. I swear I've heard that voice before, sweet and lilting, soft and pure, like gentle waves upon a silver shore. It's the voice of an angel. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who has created such beauty in his world. Baruch atah Avotai Eloheinu melech haolam shekacha lo ba'olamo. Though I have never seen that face before, beauty, perfection, without a flaw, she looked at me and there I saw the face of an angel. Blessed are you, God, King of the universe, who has created such beauty in his world. Baruch atah Avotai Eloheinu melech haolam shekacha lo ba'olamo. Though I have never felt like this before, the shifting in my inner core, my heart is racing more and more. I went home. It was getting late and I needed to fulfill the mitzvah of hearing the Kiddush prayer, and as far as I'm concerned, I hadn't heard it. Every day I feel somewhat out of place, something with my hair, something with my face, always out of step, always out of line, but when I look at Sarah, all I feel is fine. How could there ever be something strange inside of me? Then I get an image, then I get a flash, hits me like the wind, hurts me like a crash. Just a little memory, innocent and pure. Now I have these feelings, I am not so sure. It can't be true, it cannot be. There's nothing wrong inside of me. I am just normal, simple and normal, nothing abnormal about me. I am just happy, simple and happy, God-fearing happy, that's what God I'll be. If you're feeling odd, you're just feeling ill, so take a better cure, take a bigger pill. Be the perfect wife, be the perfect bride. None of this will matter, all of this will hide. They will never know or see the thoughts that are inside. I am just normal, simple and normal, nothing abnormal about. I have great news. The so-called strike has ended. There is now a ladies' service. It's very popular. Even more popular than standing around in a car park. And everyone is happy. Menachem, who made this deal, is the toast of the synagogue. He's finally been approved and everything's on track for our wedding a week tomorrow. As you can see, Sarah's not here. She's not even in the ladies' service. When Menachem called the meeting, everything seemed to be going smoothly, but Sarah was getting angrier and angrier, demanding for women to be able to read from the Torah. It was madness. She turned to me, asked me what I thought, or what I really thought. I really thought that she was being unhinged, but I didn't say that. I didn't say anything. And she stormed out. Apparently, Sarah joined another synagogue. I guess now I'll probably never see her again. Not even when I look in the car park. It's a good thing. Life's much simpler now she's gone. It can only get better. So why do I want to rip my collar? Why do I want a lower seat to sit on? I keep thinking of covering mirrors and looking for a day-long candle to light. I don't want to wear makeup. I'm not in the mood to smile at simchas every other night. But why would someone mourn for a friend just because they're no longer a friend? I want people to bring me food and wish me a long life and tell stories of us growing up in a eulogy as long as a book. I don't want to pretend I'm happy and avoid crying in case anyone might look. Because who on earth mourns for a friend just because they're no longer a friend? There's a space where she used to be. Now it's bruised and empty. I never thought she'd actually leave. The Torah provides hundreds of rules to guide a person, but now nothing can help, no one can know that all I want to do is grieve. I want to be in bed. Would it be wrong to fake an illness? I want to be outside in the middle of nowhere with miles and miles to run. I don't want to get married. I mean, of course I do. It's just hard to pretend I'm having fun. It's not like I'm in mourning. Mourning would be crazy. I can't mourn for a friend just because she's no longer my friend. When I was 13, we had a Hebrew oral exam, and I wanted the top mark. My teacher said whoever got the top mark would win a special prize, and everyone thought Becky Adler was going to get it because she got the top marks in everything, but I was like, nuh-uh, not this time, Becky Adler. And I spent all night practicing and practicing and practicing. When I got hungry, I went to the kitchen, and all I wanted were packets of Bamba, the peanut crisps. Packet after packet of Bamba. So the exam was the first thing in the morning, and after registration, I quickly went into the toilets for that final practice. I opened up my textbook, and I vomited right onto the pages I'd been staring at all night. I threw the textbook in the bin, checked my clothes for signs of vomit, completely clear, and I won the top mark award. And that's the only thing anyone remembers. This morning, I found myself walking to Sarah's and knocking on the door. She opened the door, and then I found myself not knowing what I was there for. And it was silent, for it was early. Apart from some birds, it was silent until I told her I love her, and she held me close and she whispered in my ear that she loves me. This morning, I found myself in Sarah's arms, not making any sound. This morning, I was filled with joy as I found myself. I was found, and the world was still, for it was early. Apart from those birds, everything was still until I kissed her. My arms pulled her in, and my lips were on her face. And she kissed me. I felt my lips lean into her embrace. How on earth did this naive body know how to feel so much passion, like parting sea passion, burning bush miracles, like throwing down tablets of stone? And how on earth is there a person walking upon this planet who has felt my lips for one more day? They are the only lips I've ever known. Because I kissed her. It's tomorrow. The wedding is tomorrow, and today is the last Shabbat service before the wedding. The synagogue is full of his extended family and my extended family, and everyone is in good spirits, great spirits. So, everything is done. That's it. I did it. I've always wanted to be a rabbi's wife, and tomorrow, that's what I'll become, and nothing else will matter. Nothing. I wish she didn't get upset or shout or cry when I pulled away and said goodbye. 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 As long as you get to the finish line, nothing you do on the way there matters. Daddy sang Kiddush. Mum poured out the wine, and that's how I knew the world would be fine. The bullies would go away. I'd get the answers right, as long as Daddy sang Kiddush on a Friday night. Daddy isn't perfect, and neither is my world. But when Daddy sang Kiddush, I was just his little girl. He belongs to others. He lives by God's design. But when Daddy sang Kiddush, my daddy was mine. Daddy sang Kiddush, cut challah with a knife. These are the important facts of a different life. Life before illness, life before death, life before changes, life before mess. Daddy isn't perfect, and neither is my world. But when Daddy sang Kiddush, I was just his little girl. He belongs to others. He lives by God's design. But when Daddy sang Kiddush, my daddy was mine. Daddy still sings Kiddush in just the right way, but I cannot come home. No, I cannot stay. I have to move on now. No longer his child. I'm strange and I'm different. I'm weird and I'm wild. Daddy isn't perfect, and neither is my world. But when Daddy sang Kiddush, I was just his little girl. He belongs to others and lives by God's design. But when Daddy sang Kiddush, my daddy was mine. Sarah's been awkward all day. Keeps checking in and making me tea. She's just concerned because today would have been my 1-year anniversary. I keep saying I don't care. It's not a big deal. But she keeps looking my way as if I'm about to run out of the door streaming tears. Don't worry, I'm not. Fine, it's a weird day, but Sarah doesn't need to know about it. Especially as yesterday was our anniversary. We didn't do anything, we didn't say anything, but I knew it and I could tell she knew it. And it was nice. Really nice. She wanted to stay at home with me this evening, but she's the chairperson of her synagogue board. They can't have a meeting without her, or knowing that lot, they'd accidentally become a different religion. It's her synagogue, not mine. I tried. But they cut half the prayers, most of the service is in English, and the rabbi plays the guitar. Last time I stepped foot in that silly little place, They'd set all the prayers to the best hits of the Spice Girls. No, thank you. A couple of months ago, I started going back. My father's still the rabbi. We haven't spoken in a year, and I guess Menachem didn't want to stick around. That day, today, a year ago, was so loud and yet so violently quiet. I thought the whole world would split open. And it did. And it didn't. In a way that I felt was obnoxious. Yeah, that's the word. Obnoxious. At some point that day, I was walking somewhere, and I felt there should be craters in the road and smoke pluming from burning houses, but the world looked normal. Obnoxiously normal. Anyway, no one wants me here. At the synagogue, I mean. Which, of course, I heard straight away from the moment I stepped inside, but eventually they moved on to other sources of intrigue. They always do. Last week, just as I finished saying the Amidah, I noticed my father was looking up at me. He was smiling. It would be easier to embrace this new kind of religion and let my traditions fade. Embrace the entirety of a life I don't believe in, but that's not how I was made. It would be simpler to spend my whole life ensuring my heart was never displayed. To funnel all my thoughts into the words of the Torah, but that's not how I was made. I was made to live a life of contradiction and to see the complexity in every restriction. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani kertzono. Blessed are you, Hashem our God, King of the universe. You have made me according to your will. It would be easier if humans were made in man's image, within parameters from which we never strayed. Each person defined by their purpose in society, but that's not how we were made. And it would be simpler to say that faith is an illusion, a con to hurt and degrade, to silence the yearning in the pit of my soul, but that's not how we were made. We were made to know love so strong we could not resist, and the strength to fight for its right to exist. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani kertzono. Blessed are you, Hashem our God, King of the universe. You have made me according to your will, and you made the neshamot, the souls of my love and me, fit together perfectly. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani kertzono. Blessed are you, Hashem our God, King of the universe. You have made me according to your will. Yeah, yeah. You have made me according